As the movie opens, we see a young lady lying on the beach with a life jacket. The young lady's name is Jen. She's been unconscious, and when she regains consciousness, she notices that Brad, her friend, is unconscious. She runs to him and, turning him over, sees a piece of coral in bed, ventures into the nearby woods. Finds a coconut, opens it with a rock, and she returns to Brad, pouring the coconut water into his mouth, only to find that he has already died. Holding his face, she calls for him, but her friend is gone, leaving her devastated. The island where Jen and Brad are stranded is small. Still dazed with grief, Jen walks the shoreline, completing its loop until she finds herself back where Brad's body lies. With a quiet breath, she turns toward the trees and steps into the jungle. She enters a small clearing. There, hanging from a low branch, is a weather-faded bag. Beside it sits a red cooler, holding a bottle of medicine dated 1994. Her heart sinks. Whoever left these things has been gone for decades. In the cooler, she finds several bottles of Coca-Cola, old but still sealed. She sets them aside and continues searching. Nearby, she spots a thermos and a small metal box. Inside the box, she finds a deck of cards, a half-used pack of matches, and a few other worn items. When Jen returns to the beach, a strange sound rises from a hollow log near and finds a brightly colored tropical bird inside. She gathers large leaves and gently lays them over Brad to shield him from the elements. That night, the rain comes hard. Jen curls beneath a makeshift shelter of leaves. The next morning, Jen wakes hungry. Small fish washed ashore. She bends down and gathers a few of them. As she walks, a larger shape catches her eye. A shark lies on the sand, split completely in half. Jen takes a flat stone and attempts to clean one of the fish. The stone acts like a dull blade. She returns to the red cooler she discovered the day before. She opens her diary, but the pages were ruined. The photo tucked there. She and Brad, laughing. Jen moves back into the jungle. Here, 3 small burial mounds rise from the ground. When Jen reaches the beach again, the smell hits her first. Brad's body. She drags his body closer to the line of trees, to a quiet patch of earth not far from the burial mounds. She finds a stray piece of driftwood and uses it to dig. As dusk falls, Jen gathers wood and palm leaves and returns to the spot near the cooler. She cleans one of the fish enough to roast it over a fire. Jen walks along the beach the next morning and she is startled to see that Brad's body has been removed from the grave, mutilated, and dragged away by someone or something. She grabs a piece of wood and sharpens it with a stone into a spear for defense, expecting to see something, but she does not. The following day, Jen sees something in the distance and decides to swim out to it, finding it to be a bucket and a suitcase. She dives to try to find more and sees a dark hole in the ocean bed. Jen takes the bucket in the box to the beach, where she finds a pair of sneakers and some clothes that night, which is her third. She changes clothes and puts on the sneakers to stay warmer sitting by the fire. She opens the metal box once more and examines its contents. Finding a secret compartment in the box that hides some photos, she tries to use the fire to examine the images when she hears the sound of a plane overhead. She runs to get the flare and fires it, but it doesn't work. She tries a second time and it works with the flare glowing in the distance. She waits to see if she gets a response, but as the flare disappears into the horizon, Jen sees a humanoid monster emerging from the water. Frightened, she runs back to where she was sitting, grabs her wooden weapon, and runs into the jungle. She finds a place to hide, listening to rustling leaves and approaching footsteps. She stays hidden until she eventually hears the monster leave. The next day, Jen runs back to the beach. She looks again at the 4 photos she was examining the night before and discovers they are of a family. The last photo shows a woman holding a bag near the tree Jen found earlier in the photo. Jen can see 2 shining dots in the distance. She contemplates what to do and empties the suitcase, puts her and Brad's life jackets inside, and tries to use it as a raft. She takes this makeshift raft to the ocean and tries to get on it, but despite several attempts, the suitcase raft can't support her weight, so she throws the life jackets and the suitcase back to the beach. That night, Jen uses the hollow tree as her sleeping place, keeping her weapon close in case the monster returns at some point during the night. Jen is sleeping inside the trunk. When she hears the monster arrive, she tries to stay quiet as the beast approaches and rolls the trunk with Jen inside, but she makes no noise. Luckily, the terror doesn't last long, and it ends with the thing going away. The next morning, a frightened Jen comes out of the trunk and manages to catch a small shark using some little fish as bait. She then uses the shark as bait for the monster. That night, which is already the 5th, while hiding in a place where the hanging shark is within her line of sight, she watches, hoping the monster will just take the shark and go away without wanting to go after her. Jen closes her eyes for a short time at some point, and when she opens them, the shark has already disappeared. The next morning, Jen examines the worn ropes, and while sharpening her weapon, sees something in the distance. It's a body floating in the water. She goes up to the body and discovers it's a man cut in half with a mutilated face. Jen then hangs the body in the same way she did with the shark on the 6th night. Jen is sitting in her hiding place watching the monster knock down the body and take it to the ocean. Jen hears the sound of an airplane engine in the distance. For a moment, hope rises in her chest. But before she can decide what to do, she noticed the next morning, Jen knows she has to protect herself. She takes a tarp and ties it high between several tree branches, making a sort of net or hammock. She thinks that if she sleeps off the ground, the creature might not find her so easily. Days pass. On the 7th night, a heavy storm rolls in. Thunder shakes the sky. Jen hears the monster again. Its steps slow and heavy. She listens carefully, trying to see where it is. A flash of lightning lights up the forest, and for a second, Jen sees its full shape. And in that same moment, the monster sees her too. Jen quickly lies flat in the net, trying not to breathe too loudly. The creature walks closer. Her heart feels like it is going to burst. Then the monster grabs the net and yanks it hard. Jen falls from the net and hits the ground. She scrambles up, grabs her weapon, and runs as fast as she can. It leaps from the water with a powerful splash, almost close enough to grab her. But again, blocking her path. Jen swings her weapon and hits it, but the monster grabs her and throws her hard to the ground. Before she can stand, it kicks her into the ocean. Jen looks around for it, but the creature has already disappeared beneath the waves. Hurt and frightened, she goes back into the jungle and climbs a tree, trying to rest and recover. The next morning, Jen goes down to the beach and washes her wounds. She changes into clean clothes. Then something catches her eye on the water. An inflatable raft with a small tent on top is slowly drifting toward the island. Jen cannot believe what she sees. She swims out to it and finds 2 other survivors. Her boyfriend Lucas Griffin and her friend Mia Reed. Later, Jen cooks breakfast for them and even offers a 20-year-old soda she found. Lucas and Mia admire the beauty of the island, but Jen warns them about the monster in the ocean. Lucas tells her to calm down. Jen explains everything she has seen. The sea monster, the black hole in the ocean floor, and how it drags people into the deep. She tells them about Zach, who was killed by the monster. Lucas and Mia look uncomfortable when Jen mentions Zach. Jen shows them the photo of the family who once lived on the island and points to the strange glowing eyes of the monster behind them. Mia believes that a family lived and died here, but she does not believe there is a monster. They suggest waiting on the island for rescue instead of leaving. Jen tells Mia that Brad, her old boyfriend, did not survive the shipwreck. The monster took his body. Mia walks away, crying, trying to understand her loss. Later, Jen and Mia sit together. Mia speaks quietly about how terrified she was alone on the raft, counting every day and losing hope. Jen says it is better to risk leaving on the raft than to be eaten here. But Mia refuses. Lucas, also tired and shaken, says he will not go back to sea. Jen still wants to leave before nightfall. She asks Lucas for his pocket knife so she can gather food. When she opens the knife, she sees red stains on the blade. She realizes something terrible happened on the raft. Lucas and Mia are hiding the truth. Jen gathers food alone. When she returns, Lucas and Mia say they are too tired to leave. Instead, they want to stay on the island and wait for help. Jen tries to convince them to go, but Lucas gets angry and refuses. Jen goes to the water to think and forms a plan. Later, when Lucas and Mia are distracted, she loads supplies onto the raft and pushes it into the water. Lucas and Mia chase her. Jen tries to fight them off, but Lucas manages to pull her out of the raft, and Mia hits Jen on the head with an oar. Jen wakes up at night tied to a tree. Mia says she only wanted to stop Jen from leaving and that she hasn't seen any monster. Mia says Jen has lied before, so it is hard to trust her. Lucas returns from searching the jungle and says he also saw nothing. Jen insists the monster comes from the sea, not the forest. Mia walks to the beach and is horrified to find the torn remains of a fish. Meanwhile, Lucas tells Jen he thinks she only brings him sadness, that she ruins everything, and that she would be helpless without him. Jen tries to ignore his cruel words and asks about Zach, but before Lucas can answer, they hear Mia scream. Lucas grabs a torch and runs. The sea monster is attacking Mia. Lucas tries to fight, but the monster knocks him aside. Jen frees herself and runs to help, but she is too late. The monster drags Mia into the water. Jen pulls Lucas in. Jen catches fish and uses her last matches to cook. She returns to camp to get the last supplies, including the old medicine bottle. Jen and Lucas load the raft and push off. But when they climb in, Jen sees dried blood inside. She realizes Zach died here. She looks at Lucas but says nothing. They row west. Then Lucas sees something moving under the water. The monster attacks the raft. They try to hide inside it as the creature hits the sides. It breaks the bottom and tries to grab Jen. Lucas shoots it with a flare gun and pushes it back with a spear. For a moment, the ocean goes quiet. Then the monster drags Jen underwater. It is a huge creature, part shark, part human. It pulls her toward the black hole on the ocean floor. Jen remembers the pocket knife, stabs the monster, and it lets go. Lucas dives in to help her. The monster turns and grabs him instead. Jen watches helplessly as it drags Lucas into the darkness below. Alone again, Jen returns to the island where the ruined raft washes ashore. She lights a fire and writes one final message in her diary, hoping someone will find it. Then she prepares for the final battle. She sharpens sticks and bones into weapons. At night, she lures the monster into a ring of dry grass and sets it on fire. While the monster struggles, she attacks. The monster throws her aside, but she keeps fighting. After a long struggle, she manages to stab it again and again. Finally, the creature collapses. Jen finishes it. She cuts off its head. At dawn, limping and exhausted, she carries the monster's head back to the raft as proof. Behind her, the island burns, sending smoke into the sky. This time, someone will see.